Although you may never have heard of a DAG before, I guarantee you mentally use DAGs all the time. So, what's a DAG? DAG stands for Directed Acyclic Graph. Sounds complex, but it's really not. Let's take it apart. A graph is simply a diagram or model with boxes and lines that connect them. The boxes are sometimes called vertices, or nodes. The lines that connect the boxes in a graph are called edges or arcs. In flying logic, our boxes are either entities or junctors, and our lines are called edges. But if you want to call them arrows, that's fine, they won't get offended. These box and lines diagrams, graphs, are super powerful for modeling all sorts of real-life situations. Directed means that the edges have a direction. In an undirected graph, the edges have no arrowheads to show which way the relationship goes. Flying logic's graphs are directed, so things always flow in a definite direction, and that's why our edges don't mind being called arrows. Finally, acyclic. A cycle is a loop. So acyclic means without loops. In a directed acyclic graph, no box can directly or indirectly be its own predecessor. That would be like being your own grandpa. It can't really happen. So a directed acyclic graph is just a network of boxes connected with arrows that has no loops. DAGs are used all over the place. Spreadsheets, project charts, causal structures, software dependencies, and even family trees, which aren't really trees, but are in fact DAGs. A fact that people don't usually like to discuss in polite company. You might have noticed that if you try to create a cycle in flying logic, you'll get a special bold arrow called a back edge. In flying logic, back edges are sneakily still stored internally as forward edges, but drawn backwards and in bold. You can think of them as a special sort of annotation because, other than sitting there looking pretty, they don't currently contribute to how data flows through your model. But they are still useful because sometimes you want to diagram the concept of a loop as in a vicious or virtuous cycle. The thing to remember is that in flying logic, back edges don't really break the rule that DAGs are to have no loops. DAGs are very cool, and now that you know what they are, I bet you'll start noticing them everywhere.